Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Clocked In with the Press, hosted at Altman Studios in Brentwood, California. In this podcast, we highlight news stories, individuals, and organizations in the community that deserve your attention. Not everything stated in this podcast is supported by or reflects the beliefs of the press, so make sure you tell us what you think on Twitter or Instagram at PressClockedIn or on Facebook at thepress.net. I'm your host, Caitlin Gleason, with no more sick pay available, clocking in. For this episode, we will be recapping the top stories of last week that you might have missed or that we feel you should know about. Without further ado, let's jump right in. First up, a man was pronounced dead on the scene after police responded to calls of gunshots fired in the area of 2958 Delta Fair Boulevard on January 24th. The calls came in at 2:16 p.m., according to Antioch police press releases, with police arriving on the scene at 2:19 p.m. The calls indicated that a man who had seemingly been shot was lying in the parking lot of Wine and Liquor and that an unidentified vehicle had left the scene. When police arrived on the scene, they discovered an unresponsive man in his 50s lying motionless in the parking lot, according to the press release. Life-saving measures were attempted on the man, but he was pronounced dead at the scene from his injuries. The identity of the victim has not yet been determined by the coroner's office. Police received no further details, including potential suspects, because the investigation is still active. Next, Brentwood police arrested an unidentified man Wednesday afternoon, January 26th, after he allegedly robbed Brentwood's Tri-Counties Bank and led authorities on a short chase to Antioch before getting caught. The suspect, described as a white male in his 20s to early 30s and wearing dark clothing and a dark face mask, entered the bank at 2400 Sand Creek Road around 1:30 p.m., before handing a bank teller a demand note and fleeing the business and area with an undisclosed amount of money in an undisclosed vehicle. Brentwood officers located and pursued the suspect vehicle westbound on Highway 4 at Lone Tree Way and into Antioch. The suspect abandoned the vehicle in the 2100 block of Pepper Tree Way. The suspect then fled on foot but was taken into custody after an extensive search. Next, in hometown sports, for the second time in less than 2 years, Liberty High School is looking for a new head football coach. Shortly after the off-season weights program began, Matt Hofs, who's been the coach for the last 2 years, informed the school that he'd be stepping down from that position. Hofs served as the special teams coordinator and assistant coach for the Lions during the 2019 season. When then-coach Ryan Partridge left to be the coordinator of high school recruiting for the University of Arizona, Hofs was promoted to head coach. On the field, the Lions went 4-1 during the shortened 2020 season, losing only to BVAL champion Pittsburgh. In 2021, the Lions went 5-5 overall with a 3-2 BVAL record. Included in that was a perfect record against Liberty's two biggest rivals, Freedom and Heritage. Hofs commented on his departure. He said, quote, "There are exceptional young players in the freshman class that I think have college talent. I think it will be a good transition for whoever has it. I think they're going to be a really good team next year," end quote. Regardless of what Hofs ends up leaving behind on the field, he is confident the decision he made was the right one. Next, Costco may be soon coming to Brentwood. The big box retailer submitted a planning application to the city last week for a Costco wholesale warehouse and fuel facility just south of Lone Tree Plaza Drive near Kohl's and Home Depot. Brentwood City Manager Tim Ogden said if the Planning Commission and City Council approve the project, it could be open as soon as summer 2023. The initial plans call for a 152,000 square foot members-only Costco warehouse and separate fuel station, with room for 32 vehicles to fuel up at a time and up to 40 to wait in line, on the currently undeveloped property within the Lone Tree Plaza Center. A Costco corporate communications representative who asked not to be identified declined to comment on the possible project, citing a company policy not to comment on new locations until they are close to opening. Lastly, for Contra Costa County as a whole, the Contra Costa County Board of Supervisors held a swearing-in ceremony for Supervisor Karen Michoff as a board chairperson and Supervisor Federal Glover as a vice chairperson at a recent board meeting. Michoff, who began her public service in 1981 and has served Contra Costa County as an elected supervisor since January 2011, takes the leadership role from outgoing chairperson Supervisor Diane Burgess of District 3, which covers East County. District 5 Supervisor Federal Glover has served on the board since 2000, representing a district that includes the county's northern waterfront. Michoff is in her third term, and Glover is serving his sixth term. They will lead the 5-member elected body that sets the direction of county government and oversees its $4 billion budget to serve this large and diverse East Bay County. That's it for today's episode of Clocked In with the Press. I thank each and every single one of you for listening in, and I look forward to speaking more with you in the next episode. To stay updated on all of the latest news in East Contra Costa County, you can do so through our website at www.thepress.net, and you can also follow our Facebook page, thepress.net, or our Twitter and Instagram at PressClockedIn. That's all that I have for you today, and I will speak with you next time. This is your host, Caitlin Gleason, clocking out.